Hey, what's up everybody? I'm Charlie. On today's episode, I'm going to be showing y'all how to make my delicious New Orleans sweet potato buttermilk drops from scratch. Now, there's this popular donut in New Orleans called the buttermilk drop, of course. The only difference is that sweet potato is added into the batter, fried in hot oil, and after they are fried, they are coated with a delicious and sweet potato spice glaze just before serving. This recipe you can get about 12 medium-sized buttermilk drops. You can have it for either breakfast or for dessert. But it's absolutely delicious. So without further ado, let's get started. Alright, here's all you'll need to make your New Orleans style sweet potato buttermilk drops. Let's get started with our ingredients. You will need 1 small to medium-sized baked sweet potato. You can also ball the sweet potatoes as well, whichever one you prefer. And along with that, you will need some all-purpose flour, sugar, salt, baking powder, baking soda, unsalted butter, 1 large egg at room temperature, whole milk at room temperature, buttermilk at room temperature, vegetable or canola oil, vanilla extract, butter extract, almond extract, cake batter extract, cinnamon, nutmeg, allspice, and some confectioner sugar. And for your tools, you will need a medium-sized 4-quart pot or deep fryer. And since I'm using the 4-quart pot, you're also going to need a thermometer, a mesh straining spoon, an ice cream scoop, a food processor, and a cooling rack. And there we have it. Alright, let's get straight to it. So here we have our baked sweet potato. We're just going to remove some of the skin off of the sweet potato. I'm going to take a spoon and I'm just going to dig out the insides of the sweet potato and place it into a measuring cup. Now you should have about 1 cup of the sweet potato insides in the measuring cup. Alright, let's get started with pureeing our sweet potato. So in this large food processor, we're going to add the sweet potato insides right on in there. Blend this for 30 seconds to 1 minute. Alright, that looks good. And once done, you should have 1 cup of the pureed sweet potato. Preheat your fire to medium heat. If you're using a deep fryer, preheat it to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Alright, let's get started with heating our oil. So in this medium-sized 4-quart pot, I've added 48 fluid ounces of vegetable or canola oil. If you're using a deep fryer, add the amount of oil according to your deep fryer's instructional manual to determine how much oil to add. Let the oil get hot until the oil reaches a temperature of 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, let's get started with the preparation of our batter. So find dry ingredients. In this medium-sized bowl, add 1 1/2 cups of all-purpose flour, a 1/2 cup of sugar, a 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder, a 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg, 1/4 teaspoon of allspice, and 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Stir all your ingredients together until combined. Okay, for our wet ingredients, in a separate medium-sized bowl, add 3/4 cup of the pureed sweet potato right on in there. Make sure you reserve 2 tablespoons of the pureed sweet potato for the frosting. Set that on the side for later. Next, add 1/3 cup of buttermilk at room temperature, 1/4 cup of whole milk at room temperature, 3 tablespoons of melted unsalted butter, 1 large egg at room temperature, 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, 1 teaspoon of butter extract, and a 1/2 teaspoon of cake batter extract. Stir all the ingredients really well with a whisk until combined. Next, pour the wet ingredients into the dry ingredients. Stir all your ingredients together with a sturdy spoon until combined. At first the batter will be really thick, but the more you stir it, the batter will thin out. Scrape down the sides of a bowl and your sweet potato buttermilk cake batter is now ready. Make sure your cooling rack with an 11 by 17 inch baking pan underneath it is ready before you fry your buttermilk drops. Okay, let's begin frying our buttermilk drops. Scoop the batter with a large ice cream scoop. The weight of the batter, including the ice cream scoop itself, should be about 4.5 ounces in weight. And quickly add the batter into the hot oil. Only fry 5 of these at a time. Do not overload the pot or the deep fryer. Let these fry for 8 minutes. Alright, it's been about 8 minutes now. We're going to carefully remove the buttermilk drops out of the hot oil. Now I'm going to hold it for a couple of seconds just to let some of the oil drain. Place the buttermilk drops onto a cooling rack with a pan underneath it. Let this cool for 10 minutes. Alright, let's get started with our sweet potato glaze. So in this medium-sized bowl, add 1 3/4 cups of confectioner's sugar, 3 tablespoons of melted unsalted butter, 1/4 cup of warm whole milk, 2 tablespoons of the mashed sweet potatoes at room temperature, add that in there, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, a half a teaspoon of butter extract, 1/8 of a teaspoon of almond extract, 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon, less than 1/8 of a teaspoon of nutmeg, less than 1/8 of a teaspoon of allspice, and a light sprinkle of salt. Stir all your ingredients really well with a whisk until that icing is creamy and smooth with no visible lumps, like how you see here. Add your cooled buttermilk cake drops into the icing. Coat the buttermilk cake drops with the icing really well. Once you're finished coating the buttermilk cake drops, you're going to place them back onto the same cooling rack with a pan underneath it. Let the icing set for about 10 to 15 minutes. After that, they are ready to be served. For best results, let these cool completely or wait until the next day to serve them so that way the flavors can settle and increase overnight. Here is the final presentation. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Sweet potato buttermilk drops, made from scratch by a New Orleans native. If you like my channel, hit the subscribe button. Hit the bell button if you want to be notified of my videos. I have an official website for all of my recipes, including this one. Go to www.charliethecookandrews.com. You can also find me on Facebook, Instagram, and on Twitter under the name Charlie the Cook Andrews. Stay tuned as Charlie's Taste Test is coming up next. Can't wait. Now it's time to go eat and take a bite. Here's the cross section here. I'm just going to go ahead and eat this. Look at that. Mmm. 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 Man, this has a wonderful sweet potato flavor. It's soft, it's moist, it has the right amount of spice to it, and it got the outer sweet potato glaze, y'all. When I tell y'all, this is absolutely fantastic and delicious. Mmm. 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 All you have to do is try the recipe. Anyways, I hope you all enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, have a good one. Peace.